about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's good, YouTube? We got another episode of Keeping Up with the Boys, and I'm here with Gerard Daniels.
What's good? What's good?
So today we have making you the GM of the Cowboys. And it looks like the Cowboys got a round one, round two, round three, round four round five picks, and a round six pick. So the 24th pick, 56, 88, 129, 155, 167, 176, 178, and 193. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go off this Walter football site. He got a mock draft, and when we get to the Cowboys, whoever's left in the pool, that's who you get to choose from. All right.
Let's see. I also want to state, this is April 26th, so I got a flashback Cowboy memorabilia facts record. It says, for a successful selection process that produced 12 players who made the roster, including Randy White, Bob Brewing, Mike Hegman, the Cowboys draft class of 1975 was nicknamed the Dirty Dozen. So this way back in 1975, they drafted 12 players that made the team.
Before anyone was born at Washington.
That's true.
All right, so
okay.
At the number one, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson, number one.
All right. At number two, the Detroit Lions select Trayvon Walker. Looks like defense is tight in this draft. At number three, the Houston Texans select Kayvon Thibodeau. Three tight ends in a row.
No, defensive ends. Three defensive ends in a row.
Three different defensive ends. Yeah, three defensive ends in a row. And let's keep the defense going. At number four, the New York Jets select Ahmad Gardner, cornerback out of Cincinnati. At number five, the New York Giants select Evan Neal, offensive tackle out of Alabama.
They need him.
At number six, Carolina Panthers select. Drum roll, please.
This is your fantasy football.
The first fantasy football relevant player, Malik Willis, the quarterback out of Liberty, is going to the Carolina Panthers.
If that happens, what do you think about that in fantasy football?
He's gonna put up points, but he won't be in the league long. They're gonna force him to go out there to play. He's not ready. He needs time to develop. He's gonna put up fantasy points, but he won't be in the league long at all.
Well, they got a playing problem. They got Sam Darnold. He probably can't sit on the bench for a year. A lot of people believe in Sam Darnold.
You think they're gonna set him on a bench for a year for Sam Darnold? They didn't even play Sam Darnold for a year.
He got hurt. That's why
they didn't bring him back when he was ready to come back either.
Well, that coach, that's a good question because, like, that coach, I mean, if he don't have a good season, he's gonna lose his job. So, I think when coaches are in that situation, they want to have a veteran to play because they probably give him the best chance to win. Unless Malik Willis really do show his talent and really produces at a high level early on, it could save his job. Or if he came in, let's say he came in at the end of the season and showed some glimpses or flashes of like doing real well, then that could save Matt Rule's job too if he was a part of that, making him look good as a quarterback.
If there was savvy, and I know Cleveland trying to play hard ball, but I'll be like, look, I'll give you my 23rd first and my 23rd second. And that's what you're getting for what is it, Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield. Oh no, that's not enough. Oh well, go get an offer from somewhere else. That offer will still be waiting for you, until the draft starts, and then it's off the table. So think quickly. So that'd be then you can get you a veteran quarterback, and then you can play. Then you on house money. If you know you need to win this year, then you on house money. You can go grab pieces to help you win this year.
So you saying they need to get Baker Mayfield?
I mean, that was the talks. The talks was they thinking about getting Baker Mayfield.
I
If
don't think nobody want to give up no.
you said the coach got to win this year. He's not going to win with Donner. He's not going to win with Malik. The pro ready quarterback that they had going there, but it's changed since with all the rumors I've been hearing out. They had on Pickett. Pickett is the most pro ready quarterback.
Yeah. But he don't have that upside as Malik.
I mean, I would trust Ritter to go out there before I trust Malik. Believe me, I'm gonna pick Malik in fantasy if he goes to the Panthers.
If he
I
goes
just
to
don't know if Malik will be a starting quarterback in 3 years from now.
But that's it. But like I said, Baker Mayfield, I don't think nobody's gonna trade for him. I think they know the Cleveland Browns pretty much got to cut him. But I heard that he's like on the books for I don't know 15 to 18 million dollars.
Well, that'd be perfect for them because guess who be the most likely in line to get him? The Panthers.
Well, they said Panthers or the Seahawks. Like the Seahawks not gonna trade for him, but they would.
But
Definitely
no. If they cut him, then you go by waiver.
Oh yeah.
So guess what? Jaguars already got a quarterback. Lions already got a quarterback. The Texans got a quarterback, but I think they want to hold. So Jets got a quarterback. Giants got a quarterback. Bam, Panthers next. So it's like it'll work out perfect. So, but let's not take too long. All right, at number 7 we have the New York Giants drafting Derek Stingley, cornerback out of LSU. At number 8, we have the Atlanta Falcons drafting. Is it Akeem Ekwonu, offensive tackle out of
New I know it's Ekwonu. Yeah,
Ekwonu. Number 9, we have Seattle Seahawks drafting Jermaine Johnson, defensive end, Florida State. At number 10, another fantasy relevant player, we have the New York Jets drafting Garrett Wilson.
That would really help out the quarterback. Yep, that would help out the quarterback right there, Garrett Wilson. I like his athletic ability. I think the Jets know how to use him running that West Coast offense.
I honestly think that would be the best place for Drake. I think how he throw the ball, he don't care. He doesn't care, who's guarding. Like so he don't mind like that. He don't mind getting Drake the ball. One, he got good ball placement, but he don't care if a person being covered. So that'll work out perfect.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna try to coach that out of him. But he is pretty accurate with the ball if he's protected. So, but Garrett Wilson, I think in the West Coast they like to run those slants and over routes and try to get the person on the move and get the ball. And the person that has like the better playmaking ability with the ball in his hand is Garrett Wilson. So kind of like like how Deebo Samuel's used, or even Ayuk, they like to use those. San Francisco.
Well, that's what they're trying to use.
They don't really have no big receivers like that, huh?
I said, if that's what they're trying to do, Burks might be the guy, but I don't think Burks going that early. I heard he's been falling in mock drafts.
Yeah, I don't like the fact they don't have a full route tree that you can see him run. I think he's a good athlete and everything, Burks, but he probably go first round.
College teams don't develop players.
Yeah, I'm not high. I don't, depend on what system he go to, but it might take a while for him to develop.
At number 11, we have the Washington Redskins drafting Jameson Williams.
I think he's the best receiver in the draft. He had the AC injury, but we know that what he can do. And I don't like seeing him in my division, so we don't like him. That's some problems right there.
At number 12, we have Minnesota Vikings drafting Trent McDuffie, cornerback out of Washington.
I like Trent McDuffie. I think he's a strong corner. I think he's an all-around talented corner, can play zone, man. He's real safe. Him and Sauce Gardner are probably the safest corners in the draft. I hope Derek Stingley, that was drafted earlier, maybe fall to the Cowboys. I don't think he's falling to 24, but if he fell that far, I think the Cowboys pull the trigger on
I'm
Derek
sure they
Stingley.
would. Unfortunately, he is long gone.
He is long gone.
At 13, we have the Houston Texans drafting Chris Olave.
Him and Brandon Cooks, that's a nice little combination. I ain't gonna lie about that. Kind of the same mold. They kind of remind me of each other when I think about it.
At number 14, we have the Baltimore Ravens drafting Charles Cross, offensive tackle out of Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
Number 15, your rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles draft Jordan Davis, defensive tackle out of Georgia.
Oh man! So he's so we always been dealing with Fletcher Cox for many years. He's been a thorn in the Cowboys' flesh, and man, that would be just the perfect apprentice, next person in line, giving us those same problems. So that makes sense for the Eagles. That's like an Eagle pick right there. To be honest with you, he is the one that I think he would make the biggest difference on our defense. Like if we got him day one, if we get him in this NFL draft, I'll be having smiles all on my face. I think he would make the whole defense better as far as like allowing our linebackers to run. He would occupy a guard in the center, and that means our defensive ends could be one-on-one. DeMarcus Lawrence will have opportunities, and then the defensive linemen that we do have, the rotation that we have is pretty solid right now. He would make it even better. So he is my number one person that I covet. Jordan Davis. That's the person that's for me in the first round. It might not happen, just like this Mike Draft said it ain't gonna happen.
At number 16, we have the New Orleans Saints drafting Drake London. My quarterback for the Saints do live the life called YOLO, so it will be a lot of bombs being thrown to Drake London if that happens.
Drake London. I mean, if like y'all had Drew Brees and Sean Payton was there, and it was like, man, I was like, they would know how to use it. I was like, man, that's Marquise Colston part 2, even better, more athletic probably. I'm like, man, he'd be rocking and rolling, right? But I don't know what y'all going to. I don't know what the Saints have in mind for him, the future. So, but I do think he would be a perfect fit for Green Bay. I think somebody like Aaron Rodgers can get him the ball, and they'd be scary.
At number 17, we have the Los Angeles Chargers picking Trevor Penning, offensive tackle out of Northern Iowa. Number 18, your rivals, Philadelphia Eagles select Treylon Burks.
Treylon Burks. Man, they've been stacking up on these receivers.
If he go there, he's going to be a bust.
Why you say that? Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what wide receivers go. I mean, for some reason, they like to pick these wide receivers. They have to generate offers for. The best wide receiver they picked was Devontae Smith because he was going to be fine wherever you go. But you picking these, what's the other one that was Jalen something? It was like Rigger.
Rigger, yeah. Wow, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's like what? That's like 3 years, 2 or 3 years in a row.
Stop picking these kind of wide receivers. Y'all offense not like that. Y'all not built like that. Get someone that's gonna be good wherever they go. Not someone that that need work. Y'all obviously not good at developing wide receivers. So don't pick a wide receiver that need development in his route tree. He still needs development.
Yeah, that would
or a good offensive scheme. You have neither.
Yeah. So I mean that's obviously saying that Jalen Rigger is a bust, and then you got Devontae Smith,
who's not doing as well as he could be doing.
Could be, but do you blame that on the system, or you think that's Jalen Hurts?
Well, isn't they making Jalen Hurts run more?
Probably.
Isn't it designed runs?
Yeah. But Jalen Hurts just has to keep on improving. I mean, who knows? He don't strike fear in your heart as far as his just pure passing. So, but he can improve, I believe. So that would be scary. But we hadn't seen it yet. So,
At number 19, the New Orleans Saints draft Tyler Smith, offensive tackle out of Tulsa. At number 20, Pittsburgh Steelers draft Kyle Hamilton, safety out
Wow,
of
Kyle
Notre
Hamilton going
Dame.
20. I don't know. A lot of people had this dude mocked in the second pick, third pick in the draft.
Mm.
For him to fall there for a while.
At 21, the New Orleans Patriots select Devin Lloyd, inside linebacker
That's
out of
about right.
Utah.
He seemed like a New England Patriot linebacker.
At number 22, Green Bay Packers select Jahan Dotson, wide receiver out of Penn State.
Yes, they need a receiver, so it seemed like the receivers was coming off the board pretty good, pretty hard. So, is there any other receivers that you would have thought got drafted before him? That you see?
I like Sky
Yeah.
Moore.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
you know, a
Kind of
lot of
smaller slot guy.
I'm surprised. I'd be surprised to see Jahan Dotson go in round one. That means they reaching. They reaching.
Well, if you think about all the other receivers that was picked, I mean, where do you go?
You could have went Christian Watson. That just depends on what kind of grade they have on Christian Watson, David Bell, Sky Moore, George Pickens. So
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be some loopholes that go in this draft though. It's gonna be some unexpected things that's gonna happen. Watch.
at 23, the Arizona Cardinals draft George Kalafis, defensive end.
Yeah, I know some people on the Cowboys.com they get excited about this defensive end, and I'm not excited about him. I mean, he seems like he's gonna be just an average defensive end. I don't see nothing special about him. But,
Well, I'm looking at this thing that say the Cowboys needs are inside linebacker, defensive line, edge, wide receiver, linebacker, safety, and offensive tackle. That's their main needs. And at 24, Cowboys are on the clock. Mr. Daniel GM, who you got?
Cowboys are on the clock, and if we on the clock and we have like the options that I feel like they're setting up for us, you got Kenyon Green, you got Zion Johnson, and you got Tyler Lindenbaum. These one plays center, two of them play guard, one play guard and center. I think one of these players are who the Cowboys are going to target and get. From my understanding, I think they got Kenyon Green higher on the board, to where I think if the Cowboys are picking right here, that they would pick Kenyon Green at guard, because guard feels the biggest need. I feel like the front office feels like they have, because we lost our guard, and then the guard that we wanted to replace him with didn't show up as much as you wanted him to last year. So if I was in this situation, I probably want to trade back to get a few more picks. I think this draft has depth, and you just want to get like some good players. You don't want to pass on too many good players. So depending on what kind of options were out there to trade back, maybe you trade back a little bit and you still get a guard or a center. And but I think if the Cowboys were picking, I think they would get Kenyon Green. I see on this thing, I see Walter Football. I would not be mad at Zion Johnson also. I would not be mad.
All right. So the Cowboys select Kenyon Green. Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M guard.
Yeah.
All right. So at 25,
I think he has a little more power to his game, and you want to protect Dak Prescott. So I think that's what they're going to covet in this situation. Because the last guard that we had, he actually got picked up by Miami and making $7 million a year. And you got other guards on the street that's probably not as good as the guy that we lost, Connor Williams, but he had a lot of holding calls. He was kind of light in the bottom, so he was getting pushed back in the deck, and that caused us problems at times. So I think Zion Johnson, when I see him, he's solid, probably good upgrade, and he can play guard and center. So he might be the safest pick, but I think the Cowboys will probably cover Kenyon Green. So that'll probably be the pick of the Cowboys, and I'm satisfied with either one in the first round.
Right. So at 25, the Buffalo Bills draft Who's that? Andrew Boot Jr., cornerback out of Clemson. At 26, the Tennessee Titans draft Zion Johnson, guard out of Boston College. At 27, Tampa Bay Buccaneers draft Dexton Hill, cornerbacks slash safety out of Michigan. 28, Green Bay Packers select David Ojabu,
Oh wow.
defensive end out
This is
of
the guy. He tore his ACL in the pro day.
oh,
I mean his Achilles. He
that
tore his.
means he would have went high.
Yeah, he would have went high, but
If he's
wow,
still going in the first round, he would have
wow.
been up in top 10 probably.
This is somebody I think the Cowboys might pick in the second round. They're accustomed to picking people that's hurt or injured or have a track record, a bad record in the past. So I don't think that guy's going to get picked in the first round.
Mm.
But we'll see.
At number 29, the
Ooh.
Kansas City Chiefs select Christian
What
Watson.
you think about that fantasy guy?
Well, hey, we gonna jump on anyone that's connected to Kansas City. Unfortunately, he's
Yeah.
coming from a lower level
Yeah.
of competition, so we just don't know how he's gonna, you know,
I think that's
pan out.
the dream scenario for everybody for that team right there. Well, that's not the best
Well,
scenario.
the person he comp to is on MVS, and they just picked up MVS. Do they need two MVSs?
But that's true, huh? Yeah, that is who I. Yeah, you're right. I think MVS. I wonder what he run a 40 though. I know he fast. I don't, but this guy ran a 4.3 something. So, and he's 6'4". I think he got so much potential, man. It's pretty nice. I do kind of. It's hard to evaluate players that play at that lower level, but he does have so much potential. I hope he slipped to the second round for the Cowboys to get met. But if he went to Kansas City, he would probably reach his potential. And now that you said that, since he resembles MVS, Green Bay Packers are probably he's more in line. I think Green Bay Packers would
That's
pick him
what they kept mocking him to a lot of times.
because he has a potential to be that. You know, he lost Devontae Allen. He has a
Oh,
potential.
so you want to know how much he resembles? You want to know how much he resembles? Oh
Yeah,
boy, he's 6'4",
he's both of them 6'4".
206. He ran a 4.37.
4.3.
Now you understand. Now you understand.
I think Green Bay Packers would draft him. I think that's.
So
And some people call him Jordy Nelson. Some people that's what they compare him to. He's a faster Jordy Nelson.
that's weird. Jordan Nelson. How tall was Jordan Nelson? He seems short.
I think Jordy Nelson like 6'3". No, I think
What?
Jordy Nelson like 6'3". Jordy Nelson was a big dude.
What?
He was pretty quick.
Jordan Nelson.
I seen him play in college, and I didn't realize how fast he not as fast as he didn't run a 4.3, but he ran a good quick time. I didn't think he was that quick, but they used to pass. He went to Kansas State, and they fed him the ball. I think it's probably gonna be reversed. I
Oh,
think
he is 6'2". He only ran a 4.51 though.
4.51. Yeah,
But I'm surprised he was that well. He's 6'2.5", so 6'3". So I didn't even know he was that tall. But
yeah, he's pretty nice size.
at 30, Kansas City Chiefs select Lewis Sin, or was it Sign?
He was seeing. Oh yeah, I like that safety, man. He
Safety
stayed
for
out to
Georgia.
me. Yeah, he played in the national championship game. Actually, truth be told, if we can get Jordan Davis in the first round and Lewis Seen in the second round, I'll be smiling from ear to ear.
Boy, he drafted. 31, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. Kier Elam on center out of Florida. At 32, Detroit Lions draft Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of
Pickett, what you
Pittsburgh.
say about that fantasy guy?
Okay. Look, I really don't want to touch any quarterback that goes to Detroit. Kenny Pickett, the only way I'm gonna be in on Kenny Pickett, to be honest, is if he goes to Pittsburgh. Otherwise, I'm not worried about Kenny Pickett.
Wow.
As a real quarterback, like I said, he's fine. He's gonna be fine as a real quarterback, but as a
Fantasy.
fantasy quarterback, I'm good.
Yeah.
If his ceiling is Kirk Cousins, why not go draft Kirk Cousins? Why would I want to draft
Just
someone
go.
that's trying to be Kirk Cousins?
Oh man.
All right, we into the second round. So at the 33rd pick, the Jackson Jaguars draft Tyler Lindenberg, center out of Iowa.
Yeah. Tyler
Um,
Lindenbaum.
at
Wow.
34, Detroit Lions draft
The Kobe Dean.
Jacoby Dean, outside linebacker out of Georgia. Number 35, New York Jets draft Quine Walker, linebacker out of Georgia. 36, we have New York Giants drafting Arnold Ibuki T. What Ibuki T? Who?
Buki T. Yeah. I don't know.
Ibiki Ty. I don't know. Defensive end out of
Buki T.
Penn State. And number 37, a fantasy football relevant pick, the
Oh.
Houston Texas draft Brees Hall, running back out of Iowa State, and Brees Hall gonna get all the work he wants.
All the work he won't. He gonna have the production there. I don't think the Texans they don't have a poor offensive line necessarily. I know they've always been trying to work on it for Deshaun Watson. I think that'd be a great pick for the Texans.
Yeah, his competition is gonna be Rex Burkhead and Marlon Mack.
As he starter, you start day one starter. That's what you want in the 37 pick anyway. Hey, he's starting day one and probably gonna be very productive.
At 38, we have New York Jets selecting. Is that Perion Winfrey, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
39, Chicago Bears select Sky Moore
How more? Oh
out of
man,
Western Michigan.
don't
I
they
don't
already
really
got a
like
Scott
that.
Moore?
I don't like that spot
Right? Because what's the little shifty receiver they got
as
already?
Mooney.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't like that spot. I don't like it at all.
And then they lost Allen. Allen Robinson.
Yeah, and I like Scott Moore, but I would not like him if he goes to.
You don't like the system. You don't like
I
the
don't know.
offense.
I don't think I would like him as much.
Because I'm a Justin Fields guy, so I think, man, Justin Fields needs some receivers though.
I think he'll make Justin Fields better, but I
Hmm.
just don't know. How much. I don't know how much they're throwing like that, and they're not throwing the ball that much. It don't seem. Allen, for some reason they made a way to make Allen Robinson look trash. That's not good.
That's
That's
not
not
good.
good.
That's not good. They fired Chris Nagy, right? They don't have the same coach, right? They
I
probably
don't
should
even
have
know.
fired the
Hopefully they
GM.
got rid of him.
I think they fired the coach, and the GM shouldn't be there no more either.
Did they get rid of everybody? They're like, yeah, dang.
Let's check because they don't. It might be hope for them.
You
'Cause
said the GM and the coach.
yeah, they Chris. Let me see. Yeah, I'm envious of the Bears GM. Let me see. Yeah, they got a new GM. Oh, it's a young guy. I'm talking about Ryan Pace. That's who I was envious of. Like, ain't no way, man. You draft Mitchell Trubisky that early, and when you had a chance to get Deshaun Watson and Deshaun, you passed on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson to get Mitchell Trubisky. So that was Ryan Pace.
I went
He's
looking
no
at.
longer there. They got new GM is called. His name is Ryan Poole. So they got a new GM and a new coach. Let's see.
I went looking at.
Oh, Matt Eberflus. Okay, Matt Eberflus is from the Cowboys. He was the Cowboys linebacker coach. Then he was defensive coordinator for the Colts. So now he's the coach for Chicago. So he's defensive minded. So we'll see what happens with that.
I went back and looked at Trubinsky college tape, and I like Trubinsky. You know, I it's funny how he wasn't even running that much in college. So
Yeah,
how did he end up being known as a running quarterback?
because he got some speed, and then he was. I thought I saw him. I remember in college too. He was really accurate. He just didn't play that many games.
That's
So
what I'm saying. He was accurate. I said
yeah,
I didn't know he was this. Look, I was looking at him. I said it's good ball placement. Like people talk about him like he was so trash. I'm like in college, this dude looked good.
well, the interesting thing about, let's say you got Ryan Pace as a GM and you got Matt Nagy as the offensive coordinator. Look what he did with Justin. Because I was high on Justin Fields, and I wouldn't have thought Justin Fields was looking as bad as he did this year. But it was games where they was not protecting him, did not put him in the right position. So think about the same. That was Mitchell Trubisky. He probably was in the same position. I mean, Justin Fields did not look that great this year. So I can see it probably had a lot to do with the coach. You remember how when the Rams had Jeff Fisher, and you had you had the quarterbacks that they had, and then when he leaves, I'm thinking about Vince Young, but then that's water on the bridge. But then you had Jared Goff when he was under Jeff Fisher, he looked like a bust. And then you bring in McVay, and then Jared Goff leads the team to the Super Bowl. So. It makes a difference on who your coach is.
So at number 40, we have Seattle Seahawks drafting Matt Carroll. So Matt Carroll, that's what it is. So that should be interesting.
That'd be interesting. I'd like to see that development.
He'll have a chance to get start.
Him and Drew Lock.
One.
Yeah.
Even though he drafted me on round 2, they don't really have a quarterback. No crazy good quarterback over there. They got Drew Lock, and I think they signed someone else. I can't remember who else they signed. Seattle at 41 with another pick, Sam Williams.
Oh man, Sam Williams. I think he's coming to the Cowboys. Don't be surprised if Sam Williams is the second round pick for the Cowboys. I'm saying that because he had some issues in his past that may scare some GMs off. May not scare Seattle GM off, but it may scare some other GMs off. And if he's sitting there for the Cowboys in the second round, he's somebody that we should be looking at. He's an edge rusher that can get to the quarterback.
At number 42, the Indianapolis Colts draft, but hard. I would have thought it would have been Bernard, but it said Bernard. Bernard. Raymond, offensive tackle out of Central Michigan. Number 43. Atlanta Falcons draft Desmond Ridder, quarterback out of Cincinnati.
What you say about that fantasy guy?
I say I can't see it because you got who he comped to.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota, right?
Comp to Marcus Mariota. That's someone. I feel like this kind of lazy NFL draft. Like I respect it because he go all the way to the 5th round. Good luck finding a mock draft that goes to the 5th round. That's why I respect what he do. But this feels kind of lazy.
Hey, that's a type. That might be it. I mean,
but this one you love. At 44, we have the Cleveland Browns selecting George Pickens out of Georgia.
Pickens. Yep.
Put some more fire into that offense. At 45, we have the Baltimore Ravens selecting Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle out of Georgia. Georgia got so many people being drafted.
So many.
At 46, we have the Minnesota Vikings drafting Ed Ingram, guard out of LSU. 47, Washington Redskins draft Kyler Gordon, cornerback out of Washington. 48, we have Chicago Bears drafting Nick Petit-Furry, offensive tackle out of Ohio State. 49, New Orleans Saints draft Cam Taylor Britt, cornerback out of the Nebraska. At 50, we have Kansas City Chiefs drafting Wendell Robinson, out of Kentucky.
Fantasy guy. Yeah. Hey,
that's going to excite a lot of people if he was in Kansas City because they'll start comparing them to Tyreek, even though
Yeah,
he do not have the same speed as Tyreek.
and not too many people do.
But
McCall Hardeman kind of has probably more Tyreek speed than anybody.
now I'm thinking a lot of people off McCole Hardman. That's probably the time it's time to be on McCole Hardman since people off McCole Hardman. But he managed to fail every time he get an opportunity. That's what. But to
Well,
be honest with you, he usually thrive when Tyreek Hill is off the
not
field
yeah,
because he plays Tyreek
exactly.
Hill role.
The role, yeah,
You
that
know,
makes sense.
otherwise you don't get nothing from him.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't know. Maybe I need to start having to draft them in some best balls. Maybe. At 51, we have Philadelphia Eagles drafting Christian Harris, offensive lineman out of Alabama.
He was
52.
having a good draft.
you're like, nah, see, I told you that Traylon Burks, they're gonna make that man become a bust. He already a boom bust player. He's gonna
Yeah.
turn busty. He's gonna be
Yeah.
going on a path to busty, they pick him.
But I like their defensive players that they picked. You're right, though. They picked Traylon Burks. Yep.
52, we have Pittsburgh Steelers drafting Sam Howell, quarterback out of North Carolina. I think that I'll be all on him when they draft him. I told you any quarterback they draft, I'm gonna be on. And I like Sam Howell, but
Yeah.
and they draft if they're getting them for this value, that means they're gonna sit them, let them develop,
Mhm.
And you seen how many chances they gave that other boy, Randolph or Rudolph.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they talk so good about him, knowing he trash. Everybody know he's trash.
They were giving chance after chance. Yeah. So now they got Mitchell Trubisky. So we'll see what he is, and then if they drafted that guy, then he's pretty gritty. I like Sam Howell myself.
At 53, we have the Green Bay Packers drafting Travis Jones, defensive tackle out of Connecticut. 54, New England Patriots drafting Alante Taylor, cornerback out of Tennessee. 55, we have Arizona Cardinals drafting Kenneth Walker.
That's about right, man. They got these running backs pegged, man.
That mean, hey,
that perfect,
that
right?
mean he'll be in the tail waiting for Connor to get injured. But Connor just was re-signed. It's hard to say that they would draft a running back with that kind of draft capital, just signing James Connor. Like that'd be interesting. And they're not really the type that
Run the ball like that.
what is that split
I
the
like
backfields really like running back by committee. They usually kind of run the workhorse. Seem
Well,
like
they had
running
Chase
back.
Edmonds. They had Chase Edmonds in. They was using Chase Edmonds too.
And he was useless to me. Chase Edmonds was useless to me too. But at
James
56, the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock.
The Cowboys are on the clock. So, some of my guys that I was looking forward to drafting are already gone, which was Louis Seen, Sam Williams. Do you know if a dude named Boye Mafe been drafted? Boye
No.
Mafe, I don't think he's been drafted.
No, because I have not messed up that name yet.
So
He's currently being mocked at the 61 pick.
if the Cowboys are here, then I'm going to draft Boye Mafe. That's who the Cowboys would get in this position. Yeah. Maybe.
Cowboys pick Boye Mafe, defensive end out of Minnesota. What you got to say about him?
Yeah, I feel like we wouldn't be if we would have signed Randy Gregory. We wouldn't have been in this position. But he is an edge that Brand has plays with a lot of tenacity, energy, can bend and get to the quarterback, and so we need somebody with a high motor, somebody that like I said, with premium picks. The premium I believe is cornerback, defensive ends, when you have a chance to get somebody that can make a difference, start on your team, you got to pick them up. So Boye Mafia is somebody that can eventually be a starter for the Cowboys and cause some disruption and get to the quarterback. So that would be our pick.
So at 57, Buffalo Bills draft Sean Rayon, offensive tackle out of UCLA. 58, Atlanta Falcons draft Alec Pierce, wide receiver out of Cincinnati. I don't doesn't move the needle for me at all. He's
So
athletic. He's not that good. He's athletic.
why you don't think he's that good?
He and let's see. Did
Well,
he?
are you looking at his stats? Because I
I'm
think
kind
sometimes.
of, from what I put. I mean, I put that I liked him a little bit.
Mhm.
Oh, he was the guy. He was the guy that made me look unfavorable at the
The
quarterback,
quarterback, right?
Ritter.
Yeah, that's what
But
I've been hearing that. Like that's
but
what
at
I.
the end of the day, I haven't heard nobody who's a tape grinder who I respect football world say much about him too much. So
I got one person that's real high on him. I'll let you hear what they were
so
saying
if
about.
if he was to go in the second round, I honestly be surprised.
So
I
what he
don't I
said
don't believe
about
he's going in the second round. I'll be
what
surprised.
he was saying basically you have what's the I'm thinking of the quarterback out of the Rams. What's his name? You know, Cooper Cup. So with this guy, he was saying it's not his fault that when he got open, the quarterback didn't get him the ball or the offensive system they wasn't looking his way because he was saying he was running great routes, getting open. His speed, you can see it on the film. It's not like so. So what you saw, like, he's probably not. He didn't have like many drops, did he? And it wasn't that he just
Well, here's
wasn't.
the problem. Let me tell
Mhm.
you the problem. Did you hear where I said he's going?
Oh,
Did you hear where I said he's going?
he's going to the.
Atlantic Falcons. Who is at the Atlantic Falcons? Wait, so what's gonna be the difference? Mariota and his quarterback was drafted.
Yeah. Well,
What's
Marcus
gonna be
said
the
in his.
difference? What is going to be the difference?
What is going to be there? You
He
had a
thought
good
he
point.
got away. He
He
thought he
thought he
got
got
away.
away. Yeah,
In my notes,
sure.
I have
He thought he
Woods
got
will
away.
unlock with a much better quarterback. That's not
Yes,
Mariota.
exactly.
That's not Mariota.
Uh, well, Mariota might be that guy, but
No,
Ritter it won't be
that's
that
not
guy. I'm
Mariota.
talking about
If he went to
Grant.
Green Bay, get excited, but
Yeah, that's true. I got you. I got you on that one. That's you're right. Because if he went
so
to Green Bay, we would know his name pretty soon. This type of. But if he goes to Atlanta, then who knows? You're
and he
right.
could because at the next pick at 59, Green Bay does draft the wide receiver. They draft Jalen Tolbert, and
Okay,
so he's gonna eat. He's gonna eat over there.
Jalen Tolbert. That's a nice pickup for Green Bay.
At
Yep.
60, Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Nick Bonito, offensive linebacker, outside linebacker. Um,
Yeah.
61, San Francisco 49ers draft.
So that's interesting. So Nick Benito is somebody I thought maybe the Cowboys picking the third round. I think he's a smaller player. I think he's like an outside linebacker, speed rusher. But Boye Mafe is a defensive end. So that's who we picked up. So um, yeah, Boye Mafe is a stronger defensive end. So we need a defensive end. But Benito, I thought he would fall further than this, but Tampa
You
Bay got a
lost.
good player.
You
Huh?
lost out.
Yeah, I
No.
looked.
San Francisco at 61 has to select Jaquan Brisker, safety out of Penn State. 62, Kansas City Chiefs select Marvin Leo, defensive tackle out of Texas A&M. 63, Cincinnati Bengals select Josh Pascal out of defensive end out of Kentucky. And at 64, ending round two, Denver Broncos draft Drake Jackson, defensive end out of USC.
Another consideration for the Cowboys. Yep.
All right. So for the third round, I'm gonna just go ahead and try to go through this real quick
You
and
can
get
just,
to the Cowboys pick. All right.
well, you
Um,
can do offensive players just for fantasy football relevance too. Just so it
yeah,
goes
yeah, that's what I'll do. Just offensive players. So, um,
Detroit.
right. So I'm just gonna go over offensive players from here on out. If y'all want to look at the list of players that I'm going over and keep up with me, it's walterfootball.com and there do the mock draft all the way to the fifth round. So let's look until we get to our offensive player. And at 66, the second pick of the third round, we have Detroit Lions picking Khalil Shakur.
They already got him.
Hey man, oh boy, balling, and I don't. I think a pick like this, if they wait here to pick a wide receiver, I'm
Yeah,
I'm fine with going with St. Brown because that's not no one that's gonna interfere with what he's doing. That means St. Brown's still gonna eat.
yeah. Do you like that receiver, Khalil Shakir? Did he stand out to you?
He do stand up.
All right.
Um, let's see him, Shakur and Tolbert kind of remind me of each other. I like Shakur more though, so
Hmm.
he don't have the as many red flags as the
Mhm.
as Tolbert, but yeah, both of them stood out in the Senior Bowl. Both of them fits my alpha profile.
And I see New York Giants draft Trey McBride,
At
tight end, first
67,
tight end in the draft.
yeah, they trying to replace Ingram.
Man, Ingram
That
never
mean
showed
that
up.
mean we ain't gonna hear from McBride for a minute.
Be the same
Not
story.
with David, not with Daniel Jones. Jeez. At 72, the Seattle Seahawks draft Damon Pierce, running back out of Florida. I'm a fan of Damon Pierce, but I don't like that he going here.
Because
Because I like Penny.
you like Penny.
Yeah, I'm a Penny
He was
fan.
signed to a 1 year deal, and then it said Chris Carson is an injury waiting to happen.
That's
But
why, and that's
I
look,
like Chris
both of them are
Carson.
injury away. That's why.
Well, that's why that running back gonna play, and if he plays, that's the type of running back that they would draft. That fits Seattle. He's a nice player, I think.
Yeah, I like him. At 74, Atlanta Falcons draft John Mechie out of Alabama. At the end of the day, they still got Mariota, and on his mock draft, drafted on Ritter. So I mean, hey, try to put as much talent around him as possible, but I mean, they really need a better quarterback for the lack of wide receivers they have on their
Yeah,
roster. They need to be drafting first round wide receivers. Like I don't know what to say about Atlanta. Like they missed their opportunity. They should have been tanking. They missed their opportunity. They should have
he should have
been
been taken.
traded. Oh boy, I couldn't believe they had the nerve to draft the tight end. I got the damn fourth pick of the draft.
Yeah,
As good as he is, now you got a trash team around that man.
trash. Oh yeah,
Denver Broncos draft Greg Ducey at 75. I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that man's name. Tight end out of UCLA, and he is my second tight end on my
yeah.
rookie ranking. So
Hmm.
that's cool. Replacing Noah Fant. At 81, New York Giants select James Cook. You're a
James
James
Cook.
Cook
I like
fan, huh?
James Cook. Yeah, I like James. Who drafted James Cook? Who you got
New
drafted?
York Giants.
Oh man, yeah, they drafted offensive line, offensive tackle. They got James Cook, but they got Saquon Barkley, who
Yeah,
is
and,
I
they,
mean,
and,
he's
they,
a
and
good
it's not
player.
like they don't run a committee, Phil, huh?
Yeah. So
So he's
it's
gonna go there to be a backup. You'll never hear from him again.
yeah. I mean, it's not a threat. Like you probably got some other holes they need to fill before they try to get James Cook. Uh, so let's go. So those tight ends actually, if those tight ends fell to the Cowboys in this round, it's probably the two I would want to draft. the low shit. And
Oh, now you're not looking at Jelani Woods, what is his name? Now you're not looking at him?
no, we talked about him because of his athletic height test, and
Well,
we had.
you'll have your opportunity to pick him.
No, I know. Let me see. I think the Cowboys would pick him, but I don't know if I would pick him. Let's go. We'll see. Yeah.
At 82, the Atlanta Falcons draft Brian Robinson, running back out of Alabama.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
Did they draft two running backs? No, that was Seattle. Okay, that's Brian Robinson. Yeah, they need a running back. I do, and do they still have Patterson, Cordell Patterson, or is
Oh,
he?
yeah. They
They
signed
still,
him. I was trying to figure out if they had Mike Davis still. I guess so. I haven't heard
that
from
would
him.
be a good pick. But Brian Robinson and Cordell Patterson, that would be like thunder and lightning, and they can make that work. Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about with this guy. At 87, Arizona Cardinals select another Rondell Moore. Kelvin Austin. Washington. So you gonna tell me you gonna draft?
That's a lazy cup.
You
'Cause
gonna
I guess
draft
well, you know
another
what?
5'8" receiver? Fuck out of here.
I guess they let Christian Kirk go, so maybe that's
Fuck
what
out
you
of
think.
here. So you tell me you gonna have a 5'7" receiver, a 5'8", and a 5'9" quarterback.
That's smart.
Stop playing.
I know. I don't know about that one. You're right.
The best,
They didn't even use Rondell Moore like they could or should, maybe because Christian Kirk was in the way. So
the best thing I seen I seen one mock drafting Drake London to the Cardinals, and I was like, "Whoo, Colin Murray can throw the ball up whenever you want. The Hopkins or the London, he just
yeah, you got. Well, they would change the whole division. The division would have to have 6'4" corners. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to say, "Hey, we don't even need shifty corners no more. We just gonna go 6'4", 5 corners."
Mm-mm-mm. And at 88, the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock.
We are on the clock. I noticed that Walter had us picking Jaquan Brisker, which was a safety out of Penn State, but I ended up getting a pass rusher. So now I'm going to loop back around and get that safety. And if Nick Cross was available for us in the third round, I would be passing on Jelani Woods, yes, the tight end. I would prefer the other tight ends, but I will be picking Nick Cross with the third pick in the draft. I think the Cowboys probably maybe would pick the Jelani Woods right here, but we're going to go with Nick Cross. That would be the ideal scenario. I'll be feeling real good about this draft with Nick Cross.
Where's Nick Cross? Okay. So you're trying to steal from the Eagles. Okay.
I'm stealing from the Eagles.
So the Cowboys select Nick Cross, safety out of Maryland. And tell us a little about Nick Cross.
So Nick Cross, we run it. So I feel like the Cowboys need to go on and get a safety because we have a couple of safeties that's on 1 year, 2 year deals. So within next year time, we're gonna need to have to draft one and have him come in ready to play, or we can draft one this year and have him develop. And Nick Cross's son, he's one that he's actually right at number 5 on my, because I like Kyle Hamilton, Lewis Sing, Daxton Hill, Jalen Petrie. But it seems like after that, then the safety class is kind of getting lesser and lesser. So I actually want to go with Nick Cross. He's a 6'2", 212 guy. He ran a 4.34. I like the way he anticipates. I heard he's a student of the game. He has no character issues. He's a mature guy, and I want to say he's one of the youngest guys in the draft. I want to say he's 20 years old, about to be turning 21, and so he just has a good mental makeup. I heard he does, and he interviews well. He plays hard. And the things I've seen about him, he plays hard. He's fast. So you can't go wrong with that in the third round when we need a safety. He's a playmaker safety. So I think the Cowboys would be happy with that type of player, that type of personality.
At 89, we have Buffalo Bills drafting Isaiah Spiller, and I don't know what to say about this because
Mhm.
it's easy to put Isaiah Spiller to there because CJ Spiller played with the Bills also, didn't he?
Yeah. Are
Yeah,
they related? I know we just talked
yeah,
about
they're
CJ.
related.
Oh, they are related.
Yeah,
Isaiah Spiller, yeah. I know. I like the way Isaiah Spiller runs. He's a tough guy. To me, I like so after these top three running backs getting picked, like I could see these guys doing something their rookie year and making an impact, having fantasy impact.
he just went
After
off
this,
fourth. He went
hmm?
off as a fourth running back.
Oh yeah, because James Cook, huh? Yeah, I just so
Fifth,
four,
my
fifth,
bad. Fifth then.
fifth.
Damian Pierce went off before him too.
Oh yeah, Damian Pierce. So the ones that I had, well, the ones that I'm thinking about in my mind is, um, what was it? We got the first running back that was picked. That's out of Iowa State. What's his name? Uh,
Bryce Hall.
Brees Hall.
He went to
Then you got Brees Hall with the Texans. So that's a good pick. Then you got
Walker. He went to the
Kenneth Walker.
He went with the shared backfield. I forgot it now.
with Kenneth Walker. It was
I don't
I know
know.
Pierce. Seattle went to Pierce. And then
James Cook. He went to the backup.
the
The back
Giants.
on Barkley. Yeah,
Yeah, Saquon
I
Barkley.
do not remember where old boy went though.
But it made sense. Whatever team. Oh yeah, we got. What team did he go to? I wish we had. Because he was picked in the second round, right?
Yeah,
Well, I just think he's gonna be a productive pro wherever he goes. you don't. You don't have to.
so at 98, the New Orleans Saints draft David Bell.
David Bell.
So they doubling down on receivers. There must be. Is they going to trade Michael Thomas? The real question. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't really studied David Bell too much.
I like him. He's just not. He's just not athletically gifted.
Okay. David Bell. Then I see that we got the Eagles.
All right,
So,
we in round 4, and at the 107, Houston Texans select Charlie Kohler, tight end out of Iowa State. So that's another tight end that you missing out on.
another tight end. Yep. Do you know about that tight end? What do you think about him? I don't. I hadn't evaluated him.
I know all the players. I know even a couple out of the HBCUs. He's my third tight end, so we right because I got Trey McBride,
Yeah.
Greg Dolchich, Charlie Kolar. At
Hmm.
4, I got Jelani Woods, and at 5, not too many people agree with this. I got Greg Kelterra, but that is the fantasy pick. If somebody wanted a blocking tight end, they who's ranked high is Cade Otton. He's ranked pretty high. Jay Ferguson, decent, and then you got Jeremy Ruckert, who a lot of people like. So then
I
you
like
got
that.
people that fail after they pro day that that might be on people's radar, like Isaiah Likely and Jalen Wademeyer, who's running extra slow in pro days.
What did he run in the 40? Jalen
Um,
Waddle.
uh, well, after I give him the point zero 0.05, add the point zero 0.05 to them for doing it at the pro day with a hand time, he ran a 5.03.
503. Oh man.
Yeah, player. You about to
He
draft
going
a guy that ran a sub 5.
he going down. He going down there.
He said 5.03. I did find another athletic tight end though.
Okay.
This guy, his name is Rodney Williams. He went
Rodney
to
Williams.
a college called Tennessee Martin. He's 6'3",
Yeah.
235, ran a 4.51.
You didn't say nothing about Likely. What about Likely? Is
Oh,
this
you
how
want?
does he compare?
Oh, you want to hear about Likely?
How does he
Well,
compare to?
Likely he has the best hops in his class, but he went out there and after I had the .05 on him, he ran a 4.85.
485.
Yeah. I don't like my tight ends to run slower than the 4.76, and he ran way slower than that.
But he because when he ran at what was the official? I mean, I know you added, but what was his time at the pro day? Because sometimes they add.
His pro day time was a 4.8.
Oh, so you had okay.
I just added the 05.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it was a 4.8. That's not gonna cut it for me.
For depending on how the tight end built, that's not slow though. Believe it or not.
I thought it was fast though, but like we talked, no, that wasn't you. I was talking to.
But he played at a lower level. That's why it's hard to tell.
That's what I'm saying. You get on tape, he looked fast, but he playing against lower level people. So of course he's running past those guys.
Yeah. Keep it rolling. Let's see where we at. So since it seemed like it's a run on tight ends, when the Cowboys pick come up, we get the tight end.
At 110, Baltimore Ravens select Kyron Williams, running back out of Notre Dame. 114, Atlanta Falcons select Kevin Austin, wide receiver out of Notre Dame. At 118, the Houston Texans go running back again and select Zamir White to back up Breece Hall. I don't know why they would do that, but okay.
Hey, those guys are to me both of them, like they would have some athletically gifted running. Like they'd have running backs that fit the profile. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be in the situation that they're in this past year. So
at 122, the Indianapolis Colts select Isaiah Likely, tight end,
Isaiah
Carolina.
Boy,
you don't have to worry about him anymore.
He's gone. That's fine.
At 124, Philadelphia Eagles select Tyler Batty, running back out of Missouri.
Mm-hmm. They need a running back. Well, they got they need to use their running backs, I guess. Okay. So now the Cowboys are up.
Oh, you got lucky, boy. You got lucky because at 130, the Buffalo Bills had another tight end on the block.
So I got two tight ends that I'm thinking about. I would be thinking about Jeremy Rucker, or I'd be thinking about Jalen Watermeyer. Now, there was a lot of hype on Jalen Watermeyer. I'm surprised. It was. But what I understand, he can block in. He just looked like he's a good athlete. I know he's not fast. He never did look fast to me anyway. But if he's the Cowboys, we need a blocking tight end. So I don't know who's the better blocker out of these two. I have not studied them real hard, but I will say that I'm probably gonna lean towards Jeremy Rucker because I think I know he has some good playing speed, and I know he has good hands, and I think he's a willing blocker and capable. And I want to say that's his comp too. The guy that we have right now, Dalton Schultz. I think they say he compares to him. But I like Jeremy Rucker. I always like his build. I've seen him play. And you know why they didn't? I know his stats ain't all that great, but look who they had to throw the ball to. You had Olave. They had that other guy. I know they got Garrett Wilson, but they had another receiver too on that team. So they just have all these first round picks that they chunking the ball to, and he's just an afterthought.
And then
so I'll be picking Jeremy. So the Cowboys at this point will be picking Jeremy Rucker. I'm feeling good about this draft. So this is our fourth round pick, and then so you hope to get some players that will come in and contribute rounds 1 through 4. After the fourth round, man, it's just a crapshoot. Even though I pay a lot of attention to the draft and these players, a lot of times Cowboys we haven't done nothing in the fifth round too much, 5th, 6th, 7th. So it's just a crapshoot. You hope to get some good players and people that contribute, but after that, we get hype around draft time. But usually when the season starts, you don't hear too much about 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. You just don't. majority of the players.
So
So
you select Jeremy Rucker at 129, and
yeah,
the tight end run continues because at 130, Buffalo Bills select Jalen Wydermyer at 131. The Titans select Cade Alton. Let's get 133. We have Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Tyler Algier, running back out of BYU.
they need a running back, huh? You tough running back. All these picks make sense, look like.
And at 143, we have the Tennessee Titans selecting Carson Strong, quarterback out of Nevada, in the round 4. So round 5, let's go search for the offensive players, any fantasy relevant players, and we do have. And I predicted this. No, I said he didn't feel like a Denver Bronco running back. But at 145, we have Denver Broncos selecting Rashard White, running back
Rashawn
out of
White.
Arizona State.
I'm gonna go evaluate these players after this.
At 147, we have the New York Giants selecting Romeo Dobbs, wide receiver out of Nevada.
I've seen him. I've seen a little bit of him.
At 150, we have the Chicago Bears selecting Tyquan Thornton, wide receiver out of Baylor, fastest on wide receiver in the draft. At 154, we have the Philadelphia Eagles selecting Aquil Glass, quarterback out of Alabama A&M.
And we both don't know that. You know, we don't have no tape on this guy, dude.
Oh, I know, I know who he is. I like this
Yeah.
tape.
You say you like it?
I like this tape.
Uh oh.
If I'm not mistaken, Kill. Let me look for him. Kill, but he's down in my rankings. I take that back. Negative. He's not one of the ones I like. He had one of the smallest hands in the draft class. He was a 2-star, but I did see some pinpoint passes, but he really lacked the velocity on some of the throws. So, yeah, he shouldn't be going. It should be the other quarterbacks going higher than him. He should not be going this high.
They must see. They must. That's a sleeper long shot, huh?
Yeah, hell no. But at 155, we have the Dallas Cowboys picking for the 5th round. They have 4 picks in the 5th round.
They got 4 picks in the 5th
So
round.
you gonna get to take your shot on all of them.
Okay, let me see something. Let me check something out. This is interesting. So I have I have not scouted all the receivers at this point like I want to, but this name pops because I was really impressed with him as a freshman. I see on here that they have
You being lazy. You picking a pick they got.
they have Justin Ross on this list. Now, from what I understand, his injury history, his 40 time, I think he might slip in this draft. The ones that kind of stand out to me, I like Rambo, and I like a lot of Cowboy fans like Danny Gray. You know, he's a local kid, SMU. So just walk me through this fantasy stuff. So Danny Gray, Rambo, Justin Ross. What do you think about those 3 players?
All yak guys. Justin Ross is just a question mark, but at a 5th round, you take your shot on Justin Ross all day. He offers nothing but upsides, and if he don't fit the bill, you cut him. It's simple.
Yeah,
But the other 2 guys are serious yak guys. You give the ball to them, and you can throw the ball to them for 3 yards. They can take it for 30.
So Danny Gray, if all the medicals check out, I think with Justin Ross being a bigger guy, like if you think about how the Cowboys are, we got Michael Gallup, we got CeeDee Lamb. They're not that big. And it seemed like from what I remember Justin Ross, man, I just thought he had some of the upside and potential. And if he has that, then I would go with Justin Ross. We drafted Simi Fahuku last year. He's a big, tall guy that can run. He'll be competition. So I would get I would go with Justin Ross. Can't go wrong with 5th round.
For real. 157, Minnesota Vikings draft Bailey Zappi, that's who should have went over
Mm-hmm.
Kill Glass. Bailey Zappi. There's a good chance Bailey Zappi get drafted at the end of the second round. He shouldn't make it past the third. He's not going to be drafted in the fifth round. I just can't believe it. The Indianapolis Colts draft Charleston Rambo, your guy. New Orleans Saints at 161 draft Keontae Ingram, running back out of USC.
What'd you think about Ingram?
I like him.
Right.
164. The Raiders draft Danny Gray, wide receiver out of SMU. And then at 167, the Dallas Cowboys are back on the clock.
We back on the clock. Oh my goodness. Let me see.
Ingram is a sleeper pick. If he ever do get an opportunity to start, he's gonna put up some fantasy points. Catches the ball. He's a big body that catches the ball well, runs well.
So I know some. So linebacker, we need linebacker. We need D tackle. So who would be linebacker, D tackle that we could grab? Or we can double dip at tight end. The tight end that we be considering if we double dip with Ferguson out of Wisconsin. But then also we're gonna need a running back. We're gonna need
But y'all need a running back for.
a center, just somebody that can come in and spell Ezekiel Elliott. And Tony Pollard is kind of like a slot guy. You can use him in the slot. You can use him as a run. He's our second string running back for sure. But just for insurance. But let me see.
You got a number of running backs on the board.
This is
I'll,
shout.
I'll let you pick, but then I'll tell you who you should have picked once you picked it.
Next one, I guess I'm gonna go with Malcolm Rodriguez. He might not get drafted. It was a sleeper that my homeboy Boss Cowboy Sports. He got a podcast. Turned me on to.
And then at the 171, Green Bay Packers draft Velus Jones, wide receiver out of Tennessee State. And this, do you know who this player is? Because this, they say at 172, San Francisco 49ers draft Jalen Warren, running back out of Ohio State. Jalen Warren is not coming to my mind. Is that a defensive player again?
No, it said Jalen Warren. No, he's a running back out of Oklahoma State. I don't know who he is myself.
Oh, I got him. He's so far down. Jalen Warren, 5'8", 204. I'll be damned if he's man drafted. He's gonna go undrafted. It ain't no way.
He's gonna go undrafted.
I don't know. Well, you know what? I take that back. He's not slow. Well, he's not that slow. He runs a 4.55. I put that he has vision, but I also put he has good decision making. I don't put that for too many backs. So there's a chance. I put no long speed and that he's a red shirt senior. No, I don't like that. So I don't know. Like I said, I do not put good decision making for many backs. So that means he showed that clearly on film.
So let me see.
At 176, the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock.
We on the clock. At this point in time, we gonna double down at tight end since we in the fifth round, and we gonna draft Jake Ferguson.
So the dude that's sitting there on the website.
Oh, they did get him on the website, right? Yeah, we gonna go for Jake Ferguson. We gonna go for that is who they put on here. Now he was about. I mean, I can't really think of nobody else that I really want to go for at this time anyway.
All right, at 178, the Cowboys are back on the clock.
Back on the clock. Let me see. Man, we got to get a D tackle. We got to get somebody that's fat, nasty, or somebody. Let me see. I think this guy. I know he was already drafted. John Ridgway was already drafted. So we gonna draft Jaden Peavy out of Texas A&M. I know he's not. I know he's not drafted because he coming late. He's getting drafted later.
All right, who is he?
He's out of Texas A&M. He's a defensive tackle out of Texas A&M, and that's what we need on the Cowboys. Somebody that can take up some blocks. We didn't get that. Like I said, ideally I would have wanted Jordan Davis, but since we didn't get Jordan Davis,
are we still talking about Jordan Davis that was drafted way before you was able to pick in the first round?
But for me to get a guy in the 5th round that can come in and play, we got a nice rotation anyway. I'm satisfied. So
all right, so the Cowboys have one more pick in the 6th round, so we're going to run through the 6th round of the offensive players that's on the board until we get to the Cowboys pick. At 188, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Josh Allen, wide receiver out of Kentucky.
Actually, I wanted to take my pick back. I would have drafted a cornerback out of Alabama.
No.
I would have.
That ain't how the draft work.
I would have drafted the corner out of Alabama, and then I would go for the D tackle. Okay, I know who I'm gonna draft.
At 193, the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock.
And this is our last pick. The last pick, we either would go cornerback or running back. Like you said, you always just gotta, running backs are a dime a dozen. People think cornerbacks are premium. I don't have anybody. I think Jalen Elmore Davis was already drafted. I think he was already drafted. I know we don't have time to go back through it. But if Jalen Elmore was available, I would draft him. Because the one that I was going to get from Alabama, one of those, it's like Alabama, they have 2 corners. And one has been a starter, and then one just started this year. And I think the one that started this year got drafted earlier than the one that had been a starter. So I would have picked up one of them Alabama corners. If they got drafted over what I needed, I would pick up Jaron Ely out of Ole Miss, running back.
That's a good pick. I do like him. Now the people who could have picked. You could have picked Kennedy Brooks.
Yeah, I thought about that.
I think he would have been a good breather back for Zeke. Because Early is little. He more so taking Pollard plays.
Be honest with you, I'm gonna check you because you're right. Kennedy Brooks, I think he was a 30 visit for the Cowboys, so it's more likely the Cowboys would pick Kennedy Brooks. I like James Early, but Cowboys, let's Kennedy Brooks. I was looking at that, but I didn't know. I thought he was actually picked though too. But I think the Cowboys would get Kennedy Brooks. I think
now if you were looking for a spark plug pick,
it
would be Ty Chancellor. Chancellor is a spark plug pick.
Who is he? Who you play for? I ain't looked at his team.
Oh, he played for NC. He ran a 4.38, has a speed score over 110, and ran the fastest 10-yard split out of all the running backs. Ty Chandler would have been a fight.
And he couldn't play because they had those other running backs the year before, right? But I know he probably had a good year this year. But yeah, we just need, like the Cowboys, we need, if Zeke got hurt again, Tony Pollard got hurt, somebody didn't come in, you don't lose a step. Somebody that's can run between the tackles and ain't got speed and burst. So Kennedy Brooks, I know he's a workhorse too. Somebody that you can hand the ball off to and feel confident.
So the other guy I would have said, was Jeremy Ford, out of Cincinnati. So
wait a minute, Jerome. Wait a minute. I thought he was drafted by Seattle. I thought that was who Seattle. Ain't that who Seattle? Wait a minute.
Seattle. What you talking about? Seattle took on Damian Pierce.
Where's Damon Pierce from?
Damian Pierce is from Florida.
Oh,
So
I do know who that is. You're right. Oh,
Jerome Ford would have
my
been
mind,
another good
when you
pick
said
for you
Damon
guys.
Pierce, I was thinking of Jerome Ford. I was thinking of him. I thought that was who they picked. Yeah, that was my fault. No, but all those good, those are running backs that can make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Come in and be the third running back. All those guys. Well, who drafted him? Anybody drafted him in this draft? Nobody drafted Kennedy Brooks or Jerome Ford, right? Wow, they they just devalue running backs. Those guys will get drafted. They're gonna
I
get
think
drafted late.
so. I think
They're gonna
so.
get, they're gonna get drafted late, but they're gonna get drafted. Um, so it looked like we had a solid draft. I know.
But at the same time, you got to realize we didn't hit the seventh round. I think a lot of them people go get drafted in the seventh round. Like so, let's check out the seventh round, even though you don't have no picks. I'm just gonna look for running backs. That's all I'm gonna look for to see if any was drafted in this round. He would have another one would have been good for you. I ain't even see him when I was looking on my list. Tyrion Davis Price,
Okay, where is he from?
running back out of LSU. That would have been a good pick for you too. It's not that many running backs then taken up in here and so around. I don't even know who this dude is. Is this dude a real running back? I've never heard of this dude. Shamiri Jones, the running back out of Coastal Carolina. Never heard of him. I
Okay.
guarantee this man won't be drafted. You ain't gonna tell me I never heard of a running back and he's supposed to be drafted. Hell out of here. That happened for receivers. That happened last year because they had a couple people. I was like, who? Tutu Atwell. Why is he getting this draft capital? Like I was so confused. But that's it. No other running backs are taken. I'm still mad they had this guy on here. I doubt that man get drafted. Now they're gonna make me go scout this man, and I know he's not gonna be drafted.
So you know he's not gonna be drafted.
I know he not.
Yeah, the only thing I would have changed up in my little draft that we did today is I would have drafted a cornerback in the fifth round, in the fifth or sixth round, and then I got my D tackle later. But that's better than I was able to cheat. But
So let's go over your players you was drafted. I don't have all of them. So when I give it to you, I'll let you got all of them written down.
yeah,
I don't have the last three you picked. I know you picked Keon Green,
I put Keon Green,
Boy
first round
Bixby,
pick. That
Nick
was my
Cross, Jeremy Ruckert,
Jeremy Ruck was my fourth round pick.
Ross,
Justin Ross my fifth round pick.
Alex, Rodriguez, Ferguson, tight end, and who else you got?
And then I went with Kennedy Brooks because I think the Cowboys would pick him. That was in the fifth round. And then in the sixth round, I went with Jaden Peavy from Texas A&M, and that was in the sixth round. And he plays defensive tackle.
Okay.
So I went with a running back, and then I went with a defensive tackle.
So
Well, no, huh? Actually, I went with Jaden Peavy, and then I went Kennedy Brooks. Actually, so I picked Jaden Peavy in the fifth round and Kennedy Brooks in the sixth round, and then that was the end of the draft.
There's a term in fantasy called roster bait. Is this a type of draft that you would roster bait over?
Wow. I know you was asking me like, is this the team that you need to win to go to the Super Bowl? So if this is the team that we had, all we would have to do is make sure that we had an insurance at cornerback, pick up another corner, probably a free agent corner. That's what I should have did too. This is just based on this draft. But the Cowboys, they'll fill the holes after the draft goes.
Oh
They'll
yeah,
fill
that
those holes.
definitely get. That's one thing I can say about the Cowboys. I guess it's because of their name. They always get the best undrafted picks. Because I'd be like, oh yeah, like I'd be hyped about. Oh, they got some good undrafted picks. I need them to go here and here. And they'd be like, all right, this running back going to the Cowboys. Dude, why would you go to the Cowboys? You never gonna see any starting time. I don't know what these free agency be thinking, bro. They just be trying to be a part of the Cowboys. They're not thinking about any starting time or what. It just don't make any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I like a couple players that went to the Cowboys a couple years ago, and I was like, why would y'all go to a place you're not gonna be able to poke your head in as a starter? You don't have no chance. Like if you're a wide receiver, the best place to go would be like the Falcons or something. Go somewhere where you can kind of make your way up the depth chart.
Yeah. Well, they got a chance to make this team now this year if you receiver. So, but like I said, if we had this team, all I would have to shore up is the linebacker. So we drafted a linebacker last year, Jabril Cox. If he came and played, then that's pretty much solidified. If the cornerback that we drafted in the second round, Boss Man Fat, and Kelvin Kelvin Joseph, if he was able to come in and do what we expect of him, then we kind of set. The fact that I didn't get a corner, he wasn't gonna take Kelvin Joseph's spot anyway, so that's fine. And then if Jabril Cox come in, then the linebacker that I was looking for, we already have him. So then, other than that, they would just have to stay healthy, and we get Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott on the same page. We got the guard. We sure up that middle. We all right. Tyron Smith stay healthy. Zach Martin stay healthy. And if Terrence still keep on improving, then we'd have a nice squad. We'll be back in the playoffs, and we'll see what happens after that.
Okay, so now you got a post draft interview with Jerry Jones. I'm gonna be Jerry Jones. How you doing there, George?
How you doing?
How you think you drafting it?
I think we got some solid players. I think we got some players that will come in and contribute to this team. And I think we got some players that can compete and push some players that we have on our roster to even be better. So we'll be developing our tight ends. Our guard, he's going to come in day one, be the starter. Defensive end, we're going to have a nice rotation. We keep them energized, keep them rotating. You're going to have a good pass rush. Linebackers, we got speed there. And we got some solid corners that can play. And so our defense is definitely looking good. Our offense, Michael Gallup comes back. He's healthy. Hopefully Justin Ross and Simi Fehoko, the wide receiver we drafted last year. And then we also we picked up the wide receiver out of from Pittsburgh. What's his name? Mark.
Talking about
James.
James.
So we picked up James Washington. So with James Washington on the roster, so the receivers that we feel like we probably passed over, we got James Washington. He's a veteran in the NFL, and he loves to play the game. So we at everywhere we're pretty solid right now. And then Nick Cross is somebody that he might be an impactful player for in the future for sure.
We'll look, Gerard. I like you, right? That's why you're a Cowboy. So I'm not going to bullshit you. We all about results around here. So the real question is, can this team compete for a championship? Are we going to see the Super Bowl this year?
That's the goal, Jerry. That's always the goal, Jerry.
Not the goal. Can this team compete for a Super Bowl?
This team can compete for a Super Bowl.
You bet your job on it.
I bet my job on it.
That's all I want to hear.
Yeah.
That's all I want to hear. I'll talk to you later, sir.
All right. Man, yeah. I mean, like the draft. You know what, man? We be all hyped about the draft. I do understand. It's like, man, these players look like, man, like we did this, we'd be right there. But a lot of these players, on the back, like I said, after the fifth round, might not even make the team. But the Cowboys, actually, we do have so many holes that we have to fill, but we don't have to have like a impact play. Well, I mean, we just have to have people that can contribute and produce, and we'll be all right. Really, it's all about staying healthy.
All right. To all my people in Cowboy Nation, we'll talk to y'all next time. Make sure you're keeping up with the boys. Peace.
Peace.